Because the new Zelda brings a unique mechanic to the franchise, I just had to build the Tri Rod, which is the main tool used in Echoes of Wisdom, along with the ability of moving objects of different weights. The thing is, the real world doesn't work like Hyrule, believe it or not, but I will make it function the same way. Somehow. See, the Tri Rod is used to manipulate enemies and objects from a distance, and that is what we're going to achieve. Plus other features to really align with the original version. So let's get into it. The first goal is to have something that can reach around a meter or 3.3 feet away. Second, I can have a 1 meter pole coming out of the staff all the time, so it should be able to extend and also retract. And third, when not in use, it should be able to be concealed inside of the staff, meaning it should be relatively thin. I require something similar when I built Luffy's arm, so that design is just perfect. These are all the pieces we're going to need, from slimmer to thicker, but I will use this one to explain. It's not easy to see at first sight, but the top is slimmer than the bottom, and that applies to all of the pieces. Meaning that if I put this one inside of the bigger one, it will not slide all the way through, but it will get stuck at the last part. This is also easy to see in the design. Therefore, if I assemble all of them, I end up with something like this. There are many 3D printed swords out there that also uses the same mechanic. To avoid the inner tubes from falling inside the bigger tubes and end up with something like this, I'm going to add these rings on the upper part of each cylinder, like this for example, and glue it into place, so the cylinders are unable to go all the way inside the next tube. And also I'm going to add this piece at the bottom, so the resting position is not completely flat. Instead, it should have more like a pyramid shape, like this. And so we end up with this. See, so much better. The smallest one, you can see it doesn't have anything at the top. That is because I'm going to add something else that is going to perform the same function. And these two holes right here are for routing cables. You can see there are still yellow marks from the glue. I will later on add a little bit of paint, because at the end the paint will scratch because of all this movement. With the extendable part ready, I was able to design the rest of the stuff, making sure that all of this fits just fine. This is how the final result should look. Because Echoes of Wisdom is a little bit more cartoonish than, for example, let's say Black Myth Wukong, I went with a chunkier design to stay true to the nature of the game. And now, after a lot of 3D printing, these are the pieces we're going to use. I'm going to assemble it really quickly to have an idea of how this should look in real life. In the meantime, I really want to thank you because we just achieved 1,000 subscribers, and I can tell you how excited I was when I saw the number. So let's continue building awesome stuff and continue growing and learning together. By the way, the extendable part is going to fit right in this piece. You can see I kind of snapped some pieces into place. This is because I added this small feature, but this is just for alignment. At the end, this is all going to be glued. So at the end, this is kind of how it should look. Of course, I still need to add paint, but in the grand scheme of things, it should look something like this. I still need to add this piece here. I am not able to because this piece fell from the printer before it was finished. So first I need to glue the missing part, and then I am able to place the last piece. But I think so far so good. Okay, let's continue before something actually breaks. So we have the stuff. We also know how we're going to reach things that are a little bit far away, but I haven't shared yet how I'm going to actually hold something. And my first idea for that is neodymium magnets. Actually, I have a couple right here. The thing is, these can break easier than you think. Actually, this one is already broken, meaning that if I place this at the top of the extendable pole, we will have two problems. The first is that they will attach really quickly and a little bit aggressively, which, as we already discussed, are going to damage or even break the magnets. And the second issue is that we have no way to drop whatever it is we're holding, unless we drop the magnet altogether. So I have a similar / much better option, and that is this, which is an electromagnet. As the name suggests, this is also a magnet but can be turned on or off with electricity. Let me show you how it works with a quick test. This one specifically works with 12 volts. Now at first there's no magnetism at all, but if I turn the 12 volts on, suddenly we have power. And if I turn the power off, the magnetism is no longer there. So this is what we're going to use for holding and dropping things from a distance. For the illumination, I'm going to use warm white LED filaments. This will go on the inside of the staff. And we're also going to use green ones. This will go at the top of the retractable part, just beside the electromagnet. And to mimic the green lasers that go from the staff to whatever Zelda is holding, I'm going to use 5 LED strips to really make it shine. Now that we know that LED filaments, LED strips, and electromagnet is everything we're going to need, we can move from this, to finally this. Yes, the lights are not connected yet because that will come after I assemble the stuff, but this is all of the electronics we are going to need. This is going to be powered by a 7.4 battery. A buck boost converter will step that voltage up to 12 volts to power the LED strips and the electromagnet, while the buck converter will step down that voltage to 3 volts to power the LED filaments. This switch is going to turn everything on by allowing the voltage from the battery to go to the circuit. And this button right here will allow these two MOSFETs to power the electromagnet, the green LED strips, and the LED filaments, mimicking the effect of Echoes of Wisdom, that when we're actually holding onto something, the whole thing lights up green. By the way, if you enjoyed this quick little electronics explanation, let me know by giving a like to the video. It really helps the channel, or also letting me know what you think in the comments. And while you're there, subscribe for more awesome builds. Now, how are we going to place any of this in the staff? Well, this electromagnet is going to be placed at the top of our extendable piece by using this small adapter I designed. See, luckily the electromagnets come with this small screw at the bottom, which makes all of this easy to assemble. This is the piece that is going to perform the function of any of these rings. See these two slots on either side of the electromagnet? Well, that is for the green LED filaments. These are not only going to help lighting everything green, but will also shine green light into whatever it is we're holding to increase the effect. Finally, there are also slots all around the magnet, and that is where the LED strips are going to be glued. I partnered with JLC 3DP for the top pieces of the staff, since they need an effect a bit different than the rest. The 3D design looks like this, however the actual pieces are a different story, which 5 days after the request are here. This is exactly what I needed. These are printed with their WJP technology, called full color resin. You can see I requested yellow/translucent color. This is so the piece matches the warm white shine from the LED filament that is going to be on the inside of this top area. This way it will accentuate the color, while also let the light pass through the component, giving a pretty cool effect you will see later on. And the surface is shiny since the finish is oil spray. JLC 3DP has a wide range of materials, plus JLC Black Friday event is coming soon. There are many coupons for you to claim to save in 3D printing, PCBs, CNC, and many more processes. So I will leave a link in the description for you to check them out. Now we can finally move to the assembly. First, I'm going to start with the upper part because it's the most fragile one. Then I'm going to place the electronics, and then I will move to assemble all of the rest. Before assembling the rest, first I need to start placing the electronics. But the thing is, the LED strips, filaments, and electromagnet need to reach all the way where the PCB is, meaning the original cables are just not long enough. So I added cable extensions using this, and covered the connections with heat shrink. Which, by the way, I did the same with the LED filaments. The connectors I use are these. These are called, you know what, I'm not going to tell you the name because I love them, I hate their name. If somebody knows it, drop it in the comments and I will share that comment in the next video and you will see what I mean. But anyways, with the cables long enough, I can now add the lights to the Tri Rod. And yes, my voice sounds weird, I sound like a muppet because I am sick, but that is not going to stop us from finishing this project, so let's go. See these holes right here? I made all of these exactly for the routing of the cables. I just realized that if I just put the cables like this, when it retracts, it's going to damage them, even break them eventually, so give me a moment. Okay, so I just printed this. These are just like the other rings, but in this case, since I cannot put them from the top, I'm going to do it by surrounding the inner cylinder. I'm going to go ahead and paint this upper part right now because I'm going to find it really difficult to skip all of the LED strips later. Meaning I need to cover all of the pieces made with resin and of course the LED filaments, because if I accidentally add paint to them, then all of these cables are just meaningless. Then the inevitable happened. I pushed the tri rod and it fell to the ground, but luckily only one of the pieces broke. I wasn't recording when it happened, but here's a picture of the rod being glued back together. Because the assembly and painting of these two pieces is ready, we can move to the routing of the cables so they can reach the PCB. Finally, all of the electronics are ready. These cables don't really need any soldering. They can connect directly. But you might be wondering, where is all of this going to go? I can't just push it inside of this piece, right? So I made this. This is a pretty simple part. This is where all of the electronics are going to live in. So this is how it is going to work. First, I place the buck and boost converter on both sides. Now I can place the PCB on the next square. I call this a PCB when it's actually a perf board, but you know what I mean. With that, we can move to place the 12 volts adapters of the green LED strips. The cylinders align very well with these two holes, and they're going to make it so easy to place this on their final position. This one here is broken because, of course, I had to break something. Finally, my favorite part, where the battery is going to go. This area has two static pieces, and because of the design, these other two are flexible. Also, I added these two limiters so the battery doesn't move up and down, meaning I can just place the battery like this, push a little bit, and this is not going anywhere. And to remove it, it's that easy. If you pay attention, there are two guides on this piece right here, and those places are where the borders of the electronics base is going to slide in. But first, a little bit of cable management. Now all there is to do is to accommodate the switch and also the button. And the button goes first. I'm not sure if you are able to see it, but there's a base in here, and that is exactly where the button goes. And this is the piece that is going to be on the outside. You can see there's a hole in here, and that is where this piece and the button are going to meet. Alright, quick check to confirm everything is working fine. Let's go on as they should, and then the green. Yeah. All of these cables are kind of tucked in the inside of the cylinder, and they will come out when I extend the arm When I bring it back, these are going to be kind of a mess a little bit, but I can just tuck them inside again when I'm not using it. That takes us to the last joint that is going to require glue. This slot, of course, is going to be the place for the switch, which is going to be right on top of the bottom. The glue of the stuff has dried and is looking pretty good. Therefore, we can move to the last step, which is cover these two connections and add the last bit of paint. I want to tell you though, if you make any build like this, I recommend adding a PVC tube or a metal tube on the inside so it is reinforced. I'm not going to be swinging this around anywhere, but still. But anyway, let's finish this. Citizens of Hyrule, the Tri Rod is officially ours. The colors and how chunky it turned out really aligns with the cartoonish design of Echoes of Wisdom. I especially love this part right here. Looks like candy, kinda wanna take a bite out of it. This build also looks like it came straight from a Kirby game, and that makes sense because Echoes of Wisdom and Kirby share a similar style. Even though it is turned off, it looks pretty cool, but let's see how it looks with all of the lights and also how it works. Now it is time to test the electromagnet we place at the top of the rod. I'm going to try lifting from light things and make my way up to heavier objects, including the metal straps from my dog's jacket. So let's get started. So now we activate the electromagnet and we can start with the cap. Easy. Also easy. Okay. Nice. Is this even magnetic? Oh, it's barely magnetic. Paint can. Not able to lift this one because excuses basically. And now, crumb tray from my oven. Yeah, oh, first try. Okay, baja despacio. Success. It's Kira's turn. Kira, come on. She doesn't even care. Kira. 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 Okay, I believe we can call it a day. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked the build and also learned a couple of things the same way I did. If you want to watch more projects, I built Jinx Jumper from Arcane and also the stuff from Black Myth Wukong. I will see you in that video.